let's talk about how roofers pay their bills. Percentage wise, how many roofers fall behind bills with the suppliers? You've been on the supply end for a long time. And what are the red flags that you might not get paid or that it'll be a problem to collect?
And Flash. Flash when Flash starts, big trucks, lifted trucks, sports cars. Now I get it. There's success out there, and people like to reward themselves for success. But obviously, the biggest thing is that money isn't the business owner's money when it's sitting in that account if they don't have their bills paid. That's the company's money. So ultimately, I always like to. We talk to a lot of the crews. If a roofing contractor is falling behind on the supply side of things, first person I'm calling is their crew, because I know a majority of almost all crews around town, especially for my clients, and I want to figure out, are they a little bit behind with me, or are they a little bit behind with all their salesmen and their crews? Because it's not hard to come out of a small hole, because we are so cash oriented in this industry. But you start getting yourself in a 6-figure hole, or a 7-figure hole if you're a super big company, you're not getting out. And especially if your mentality as an owner has switched to the point where you start creating a lifestyle for yourself that you have to keep up.
How do you protect yourself financially from situations where roofers don't pay?
It's a tough one. So starting out, we're a smaller business, so my credit lines, and again, that's why I like to deal with the small to medium sized guys too, because a large roofing contractor can be into a supplier for $250,000, $500,000 in a matter of a month. Where with the smaller guys, we start with a little tighter leash. We start working with a couple jobs at a time or a week. We'll instead of a 30-day net terms, we'll go and we'll do it by the week or by every other week. And when we've started creating that relationship, an ACH debit form is another thing of a safety net I'm creating for myself too. I'm making my contractor sign an ACH debit form, so I'm not chasing checks as much. I'm calling them saying, "Hey, you received your invoice, correct? Yes, sir. We're going to debit your account now." So instead of, checks in the mail type things, we're going to debit your account, and that'll be coming out of your account in 24 to 48 hours.
So how often do contractors do? Is it like 3%, 5%? Is that more than people think?
I can't really speak with 100% proficiency on that, Dimitri.
Not yet.
My previous experience in distribution was somewhat of a silent partner, and I stayed away from a lot of that knowledge. So I'm getting firsthand knowledge of more and more of this, and it's all a learning curve at this point to me.
I know there's insurance. It costs you 1 or 2%, and when something like that happens, you can file a claim. I know that some suppliers do it. Some people that I talk to.
Yes, sir.
Essentially, it costs you like 1% of your business, but then you lose $100,000 to file a claim. You get it.
I'm kind of a bulldog when it comes to that too, Dimitri. Like I don't really classify myself as super polished when somebody starts to try to stick it to me. So we have lien rights as suppliers, and if I feel like somebody is trying to personally wrong me, it's not just wronging me, it's wronging my associates, it's wronging my family, it's wronging, it's just being wrong.
You're gonna go after it.
I'm gonna go after it, and if somebody doesn't like the way I go after things, then they don't have to buy from me. Point blank. I'm not gonna hold back. I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat it. If you're being a dirtbag and you're trying to be shady, then I'm gonna be just like you are. I'm calling them out, and they can go buy from somebody else, because I'm not gonna allow to be taken advantage of, because it's not just me. Again, it's not just me. I do this out of a passion. I do this to create an income for me and my family, but I also am doing this to make sure that I can have others be successful as well.
I actually paid few liens because directory.com we offer up to $20,000 in case of if contractor fails, it doesn't pay the bills, we'll step in. So we have contract actually somewhere in Ohio, I believe. And I remember it was one of the very first claims I paid. This guy, he filed bankruptcy. He was not bankrupt. It was $70,000 job, and he was doing 2 million a year. So $70,000, debt or problem is not a problem. If you're an entrepreneur, you'll figure it out. But he chose to file bankruptcy, close his company because he was not ethical at all.
Yes, sir.
And they had a job that he got from directory.com, and he got paid on it, but he didn't pay supplier $4,000. And I remember homeowner file a claim, and we sent them $4,000 to release it because that's the promise. I don't give better recommendation. I recommend contractor, and he still to this day did not pay us. He made promises. He's like, no, I'll make it right. No, you won't. So very, very sad. But what are you gonna do? Let's finish on give advice to the contractor in 2025 who just getting started, don't know nothing about the industry, just file LLC, all pumped, all like, hey, I'm gonna be successful, sold couple jobs, probably on heaven right now, how easy it was, and give them guide them through their first year, what to expect, and your best advice to the roofer.
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, if they're in the Central Ohio market, come see me. That's first and foremost.
Obviously.
So no, ultimately, it's knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, and with the day and age of the internet, I tell you what, they can be very, very, very proficient in learning their craft and learning their trade. By understanding installation first. Ultimately, as we said, the barrier to entry in the roofing industry is very, very low. So one of the ways you can set yourself aside is kind of talk technically. Right now, if people are knocking doors, what are they saying? I'll do it for your insurance minus the deductible. Well, what are you doing? We're putting a roof on your house. Well, how are you putting a roof on the house? How many nails per shingle? Like there's probably some of these salesmen out there don't even know how many nails per shingle, or don't even know, what a kickout flashing is, or don't even know what end wall flashing is, or don't know what a cricket or a saddle or any of the flashing. Let's face it, a roof's hopefully not going to leak in the field shingles. It's all about the details. It's all about the flashing. It's all about understanding and upselling, bullet boots and things that go over. Well, my biggest thing, and we sell them too. We sell them all day, every day. But why is the roofing industry still selling standard roof boots, knowing that the neoprene washer around the pipe stack is going to fail in 5 or 7 years in a lot of markets? Why aren't you covering those up with something that's going to last 20 or 30 years along with the roof that's supposed to last 20 or 30 years?
Lack of education?
Yes, very, very much.